The views, takes, and opinions expressed on this show are of the host's own and do not represent the views, takes, and opinions of the Main Event Mark, PWPH Wrestling Network, and its affiliates. Material and sources mentioned in this episode is for general and commentary purposes only. This episode might include strong language and may not be suitable for children. Listener discretion is advised. Stay safe and stay wrestle, everyone. Welcome to the Main Event Mark.
Ayun. So, bago tayo magtuloy sa podcast natin episode this week. So, bago ako mag-recording, I just finished watching the Speed Championship match between Andrade and Pete Dunne. I can say that Andrade is getting used to the idea of the Speed Championship and is amazing actually on the format, which is good. And parang nag-adapt din siya sa bilis ng mga matches doon sa show. I liked him better than Ricochet. No offense, Ricochet. But I think Andrade is clearly a better speed champion now, which is obvious. Duration of the days are longer, given naman na. Pero, ayun, which is really good din sa akin that Andrade held the title longer than what I expected than the Ricochet one, which is great for me. Regardless, Andrade did a really good job on that match, which is good. Cell medyo given na yan eh. Standing object na yan ng speed. No? That's my flaw. Kaso mahirap din kasi mag-sell ng matagal sa speed. Kasi 5 minutes lang naman. Pag title matches, 3 minutes pag eliminations or yung regular matches. But Speed is going to focus on the women starting next week, which is good. So they're going to crown a women's champion and we're getting Lyra Valkyria versus Io Sky, which is pretty good for an opener for a women tournament. So release lang natin yung bracket before we officially start the official show. So Lyra versus Io, Naomi versus Blair Davenport, which is medyo connected sa feud nila before. Then we have Elektra Lopez versus Kairi Sane, and then Candice LeRae versus Piper Niven. All of the feuds that we are getting are actually connected to the dots. I love Lyra. Lyra Valkyria, I think, can side quest with this belt. So, magiging favorite ko siya. Pero I doubt that she is winning. Pero siguro, let's discuss that in a proper manner once we're able to get a proper update on this whole tournament. And yun, welcome to yet another episode of the Main Event Mark podcast. Sorry for that side quest of a WWE content here on AW podcast episode. So today, I am recording an episode. We're going to tackle All in London. It's a review episode. So expect a longer episode than what I usually do moving forward. So ganito nga yung gagawin ko din with Bash in Berlin. And we might see this kind of format going forward. No? So yon, before we can continue lang, shoutouts to everyone who is listening on the show or watching the show as always. And yan, I hope you can support this new thing that we are trying to do here on the main event and also adjusting then kung ano yung magiging content natin moving forward. So also, in-announce ko naman to sa live stream. So moving forward, we are going to focus on the bigger promotions here. Local wrestling natin going forward will be ported to the other podcast, the PWPH podcast. So, Main Event still going to preview or to do some reviews on the show. Pero main priority natin going forward we're going to do the content over on the PWPH podcast. It will be still connected to the show technically because we are exporting the show over on YouTube na main event. So technically, it goes pa din and it's connected pa din on the YouTube channel ng main event at main event Mark PW. So by the way, you can support the show on all of the social media platforms, Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitch. Sa ibang platform sa TikTok, tsaka sa Threads at main event Mark PW. And support us on Patreon, patreon.com/main event Mark PW. So, let's start with the All in London review. So again, if you are not used to this format, then this might be not for you. But if you are used to it, sit back and relax. Enjoy the show. And I hope you guys will be love it. Yun. So, may I know what you guys want to talk about? So, yun. All in London took place at Wembley Stadium. It's the biggest show of the year, featuring Swerve Strickland facing off against Bryan Danielson. So, medyo down to sa celebration na ginawa nila last year, of course. But 50,000 is still huge. No? So, that's huge for me and that's huge for everyone who is loving the product of AEW. No? Pero yun, 0 hour, let's not talk about that. So, ito na lang muna ang mga balita. So, AEW announced that on February 15, 2025, Grand Slam is coming to Australia. That's on February 15, 2025 and from Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane, Australia. And then, All in London is coming in 2026. New Japan AEW Forbidden Door is coming as well to London, England on August 24, 2025. Well, wala pang venue pero feeling ko hindi siya Wembley Stadium. That might be bigger or maybe the O2 o kaya yung isa pa na Wembley Arena. Yun lang naman ang venue na pagpipilian nila. Saraya is in the ring. And then Jamie Hayter returned. Saraya is getting, or she wants some respect for the people in Wembley, but everyone is booing her. Jamie Hayter returned to the company for the first time in 2023. So Jamie obviously was the one who got screwed by Saraya in 2023. And that was amazing as well. So mas malakas pa yung crowd dito kaysa sa lahat ng women's matches ng All-In card. So, yeah, let's continue with the talk here. So, ito obviously, it's a London ladder match for the AEW Trios title. So, yung entrances nangyari na during the kickoff show, which is good. They are straight up to the action, which is fine for me. So, eto, I'm not gonna discuss everything what happened on the matches, just to give you a heads up. Bigay na lang ako diretso ng thoughts ko on the match itself. So, the match itself was a pretty good match, no? Pretty good match most of the way, pero yung mga spots kasi parang hindi ko gaano gusto. Pero parang na-weirduhan din ako sa ibang parts like the... Wait a second. Ayan, buti na pala. May mga spots na hindi ko nagustuhan. Parang hindi rin naman nila nagagawa yung agenda ni Killswitch to turn on Christian. Parang kagaguhan yung nangyari. And then, that spot actually costed him or them the championships. Then Pac was able to climb the ladder and was able to win the championship. But this is such a crazy match if you're asking me. But it's too much for yours truly. Medyo too much lang siya. Then I'm glad though that everyone actually cheered for Pac in this moment. So it's amazing for me. And then, yeah, parang ang solid lang. Then yung detail though that House of Black shook their hands with Pac. Pac lang. A sign of respect. Then now, let's continue with Tony Storm versus Mariah May. Personally, this is actually impressive. Impressive match. Sa totoo lang. I like this over the Mercedes one. I will talk about that later. The timeless Tony Storm versus Mariah May is actually impressive compared to the other women's title match. Not because I hate Mercedes, because it's very given, but the match itself is very impressive. The story is there. The actions for both of them are there. The part where Mariah May kissed Nigel McGuinness and actually left the commentary team after that. That might be a sign that is competing anytime soon. Typically, AEW is nagpapalitan naman sila ng team, which is fine. Pero that's very usual and we'll discuss more that later on. Which is huge. Then, the match itself, I really like this match. I like this match better over on the other women's title match, the Mercedes one. Number one, I know this will be a predictable one, sure. But Mariah May was the perfect person to win the title or to win the match. And I think this was the perfect place for her too. Because if you want to make a moment, establish it in a bigger place. So this is it. Sobrang perfect. So the fact that Mariah finished Tony Storm with her own finisher makes sense. Because, diba, naalala nyo, there's an impersonation storyline with Mariah May became a student and Tony Storm the protege, which is good. And then, parang naobserbahan na ni Mariah May si Tony, which is a very good call. So it makes sense that Mariah finished her with Tony's same move. May mga fans na for sure din na magugustuhan to, but I really liked it because of how things went out and how the match was really impressive for me. I really like the idea too that Mariah actually celebrated the win with the Owen Hart title. So, kasi parang nagiging pointless kasi yung belt later on because she has the other belt, the AEW title. Then, continue tayo sa ibang matches. Personally, I always like the idea of Mariah May winning the belt and actually winning the tournament. But regardless, this is huge. This huge moment is huge stuff. Pero, yun, tuloy na natin. Itong susunod na match, let's keep it all together because we know it stinks and let's get this shit over with. Feeling ko Jericho losing the belt makes sense. Sana mag-travel ka na ulit. 6 months a year. Twice a year. But Hook, I'm glad that he regained the title. I hope Hook and Taz can retire the belt for good. The match, ang kalat. I know this is a FTR rules, but ang kalat. FTW rules, pero ang kalat. Ang kalat ng execution nito, unlike the other FTW rules. Then Posse performed. Posse. Shoutout Slick. Naalala naman kita. Pag Posse talaga eh. Then the match. Let's ignore the match. I don't care about the match, so I'm not gonna talk about it because the match stinks. Wala akong masyado masasabi dito. I didn't like this match is on pay-per-view. The only way this match will be interesting if Jericho is not the one who is competing. But hindi siya special. I'm going to say this, not a special, but it should be... Nilagay na lang nila to sa collision. The only difference on this match other than the other matches before, because Taz helped Hook to win the belt. But the learning tree, sabi ko nga, hindi ko na-enjoy yung learning tree. I'm not enjoying the crap. The story, the gimmick of Jericho, the match itself, hindi ko talaga ma-enjoy. I don't know why everyone is loving this crap. I'm glad though that Hook and Taz share the moment here. That's for sure. But I really wish that the title should be retired altogether. It's time to go. Tagal na rin champion ni Hook with that belt. Wala na talaga. Kailangan na nila talaga mag-go. Yun na yun. Ang story, hindi ko na gusto. Yung Jericho gimmick na to, hindi ko rin gusto. And I don't really like the logic that Hook is the only one who is holding the belt more than Taz. Yun na yun. Then, the AEW tag titles. Jesus Christ. Ayun na nga. So, I'm not gonna talk about the whole match as usual. But, here's what I can say. The match was solid, to be real. No? Pero I don't think this cannot elevate the other matches that we saw before. Also, medyo confusing din yung format of the match na to. I know you could see this on WWE as well, pero it's very confusing. Parang sobrang confusing. Sobrang labo. Napaka buwisit. I hate the Bucks, but sobrang confusing ng match na to. I'm really glad that GYB, Grizzled Young Veterans, and James Drake, or Zach Gibson and James Drake, saved the whole match. So, they confronted yung Bucks. Everyone liked it. Then, they walked out. Then, GYB attacked FTR. Then, putang ina. I cannot wait to see more of JYB and AEW. Pero parang ang weird kasi they don't have the AEW... Ano ba tawag dito? They don't have the AEW graphic. Unlike Ricochet was signed there. But feeling ko din naman siya one-time appearance. Pero I hope JYB can do something in AEW. Then, the Casino Gauntlet match. Let's talk about this. So, number 1, Orange Cassidy and Okada. Orange Cassidy, I love his entrance. Yung part where he did the Mr. Bean thing, that was amazing. Then, bataw dito. Nigel McGuinness returned in action, like what I said earlier. Parang yung kiss ni Mariah May was the go sign. Magkumpit ka na. Then, this was impressive personally. I really impressed with Nigel now. I really impressed with him before. I really impressed with him now. Then, Kyle O'Reilly competed too. But, yeah. Then, Zack Sabre Jr., our Filipino hero, competed as well on this match. And, he's impressive. That was amazing. Bitin lang ako sa naging role niya dito sa match. Yun, bitin ako. Then, Roderick Strong. Mark Briscoe throw the belt like that was a piece of shit. Then we have Hangman, Adam Page. Hangman doesn't care about the whole match. He cared about the swerve. He cared about swerve. Then Jeff Jarrett, sobrang over niya dito, man. I swear to God, I love Jeff Jarrett here in London. This is something that we are interested. Why Jeff Jarrett is over in London? Actually, it's amazing. Sobrang impressive dito, man. I love it. I love Jeff Jarrett. Very given. Sobrang over. Then, ito na, yung favorite ko. Favorite ko ng lahat. Si Ricochet na kinalimutan agad ng AEW fandom. Jesus Christ. Ricochet. Aha. Pero yan. Ricochet made his debut and afterwards then Christian Cage made his match appearance and he won the whole thing. Yeah. And then Luchasaurus appeared at number 12 and that's it. Eto, isa pa. Connected sa ladder match. Parang they're teasing a turn on Luchasaurus kill switch thing. They're teasing it a lot. And I hate that they're teasing, hindi nila tinutuloy. Hanggang sa hindi na matuloy. Same with the other things like Daniel Garcia at kay Ricky Starks. No? Very disgusting. Tony's booking is very random. Out of this world. Wala akong masabi. Yun. Then, Luchasaurus, yun nga. He entered number 12 and that's it. Christian won the match. Then, Luchasaurus puts Christian on top of Kyle O'Reilly after the chokeslam. And that's it. But the rules is rules. So, kung sino man yung, regardless kung sino man mag-enter sa match, and kung paano nga ba matatapos, yun na yan. Ricochet joining AEW, but, that was forgettable as fuck. Then, yun na yan. And, ang sabi dito is, the contract is working like a money in the bank contract. So, Christian can cash in it anytime. Sobrang interesting on how this thing will go. So, this might be the turning point for Luchasaurus kill switch thing. So, interesting to. Paano mag-turn out tong storyline na to. I really like it though. Pero para siyang ploy. Plot device. Then, we have the MJF versus Will Ospreay. So, yun. Sponsored siya ng Assassin's Creed. Yeah. Very obvious. Medyo halo lang din yung colors, which is great too. Then, parang ang highlight dito yung hesitation niya on if he's going to hit the Tiger Driver. And then MJF feels like Donald Trump. Yan. So according to this one, Dave Meltzer reported that the diamond ring was actually stolen. Parang ploy na lang nila na si Daniel Garcia yung nagnakaw. I don't know if we can take that seriously. Knowing me na may trust issue sa Observer, para magdududa rin ako eh. But like what I said, regardless on what happened, let's talk about the match itself. So the match itself between Ospreay and MJF, that was very outstanding. Although, hindi naman siya sobrang ganda kagaya nung isa, pero yung talagang dynamite match, that was easily better than this. And easily the match of the night for me. And Daniel Garcia involving is kind of makes sense because you know what happened on their feud. So medyo nawala yun sa picture. Then parang kayfabe na rin yung lumalabas or kayfabe na rin yung pinapalabas nila about the ring na nakaw down ni Osprey ni Garcia, although it's a kayfabe thing. So yeah. And then regardless if that will be the case, pero expected naman na mananalo si Will Ospreay. So which is good. Then Osprey didn't like the American title. Obviously, it's a souvenir title for MJF. Then Christopher Daniels returned to the ring and then presented Osprey with the international belt. Good. Then eto isa pa. Parang ang weird to me. I address two things here. Number one, the camera spans. This is pretty stupid. Yung pag-span ng camera during the pinfalls, final falls, and specifically the moves before the final finish. I noticed it 3 times throughout this whole show. And we could not see if everything is going well. I know everyone wants, or AEW wants to see everyone cheering before the finish. But we want to see the goddamn finish. Number 2, medyo connected siya dito. Walang replace. Walang replace kasi nakafocus sa crowd yung camera. That's pretty dumb. Hindi naman mahaba yung mga replay clips. That's 2 minutes OD every match. Yan ang hindi gagawin ng WWE because this is pretty stupid. Connected yung both problems that I encountered throughout the show because paano sila gagamit ng story. For example, the Gunther Orton, no? Na medyo controversial pin. So, dapat mas kita yung referee's falls doon, di ba? O yung mismong fall kaysa sa crowd. Ito po, tangin na halos majority of the matches ended with them showing the crowd without the pinfall. So, pair na natin makita kung sino yung pinipin or kung sino yung napin. I know they want to flex the crowd, but it's not the appropriate time to show the goddamn crowd because it's stupid. Napakalabo. Ang labo kasi, parang i-obserbahan mo ng mabuti. The pinfalls and the replays or the camera shots and the replays are one of the most important aspects of a show. Kasi doon lumalabas yung mga controversy no? Pero putang ina, why we are not getting replays on these shows? Kasi parang you are cheating on us. This is not the proper way on executing the thing. You're doing this on Dynamite. So why not on the show itself, the pay-per-views? Ito, one of the examples itong MJF versus Osprey. Why we have to show replays or the match replays to remind of the moment. So kaya nagiging madaling makalimutan yung AEW shows because of how the shows are presented. Yes, you have the best presentation in wrestling right now, but it doesn't make sense if you want us to focus only on the match itself. Kaya nga dapat may replay eh. Every company introducing their replays because we don't want to see controversy on it. Sa WWE, they're using the camera shots and also the replay shots. It's either for continuity of the storytelling or for transparency. AEW is showing the crowd for what? Flexing? That's not how it works. Ang labo. I know AEW is declining lately, but this is not the perfect way to get revenge on that. Ito nga, gaya nga nasabi ko, ito yung mga batches na kailangan ng show replays. This is one of the matches. The Jericho hook earlier, I didn't watch it that much, but the finish wasn't so by everyone who is watching on trailer or anywhere. Hindi siya klaro on how the ending went out. Yung pinfalls kang ganun din eh. I mean, okay, celebration, but the final fall should be seen on the camera before mo i-expand throughout the whole camera shot. Kailangan makita muna ng tao that someone is stopping there, someone is pinning one there, or someone is knocked out there, not showing the fucking crowd. It's really annoying. I'm not gonna talk about the other unnecessary bullshit that we will discuss later on, but I'll focus on one of the worst matches of the night. Clearly, one of the most worst matches of the night. I'm serious when I'm saying this. Mercedes Moné versus Britt Baker. I love Britt, but feeling ko both of them fucked up. I swear to God, Camille, if you have time, get yourself out of the picture and attack Mercedes right away. You have the potential, beat the living hell out of your boss. Camille has the potential. She's young. And may potential siya. And sobrang ability. Sobrang ganda na. At galing niya din, syempre. But if you're besides Mercedes Moné, I don't think there's a special direction for you. It's just dreading as fuck. I would say, like what I said, nagkasundo sila para babuyin yung match na to. Ay, Jesus Christ. But yun nga, that was a disappointing shit for both of them. No? If you're going to compare this to the other match, which is the Tony Storm Mariah May match, clearly everyone is really interested on that over this. Yung mga creative spots, yeah, I agree, that was amazing. But the match was flat, stupid. As in, the finisher was stupid, and I can't believe she's still using that money maker. Tangina, parang ikaw yung madadamage ng money maker. Sa totoo lang, I'm not a wrestler, but the money maker actually terrible. The money maker to me, if you're watching it on the television, it's actually a bad move. If ikaw ay isang wrestler, feeling mo ang pangit ng execution ng match na to or ng move na to because it's pretty dumb to begin with. I didn't like the idea too of Monet not losing, which is pretty obvious because Pepperman said that she is not losing. And Putang ina, I lost my words here. This is that's dumb. Yan. Basically, we are dealing with both. Jesus. We're dealing with people who has issues. Both of them has issues. So, I'm not gonna dunk on that much. Pero, parehas silang tanga. Parehas silang may issue. So, I'm just gonna digress. I don't like the idea much. Then, uh, Darby versus Jack Perry. Jesus. This is one of the dumbest things that I've seen ever. I mean, Jack Perry is cementing himself over a four-pillar Darby, but I have to digress here. I rested for a whole match. I decided not to watch it whole because this is pretty crap for me. This is not a good match at all. Sobrang dominant ni Jack Perry dito, oo. Pero parang hindi na siya big deal because may tyro shot na si Darby sa Grand Slam. So parang pointless na yung call out niya din sa match between him and Jack Perry. So pointless na tong buong match na to. So I'm not gonna rate it because this dumb match. So this was a dumb match booked by a dumb booker. So it's kind of makes sense. Jack Perry winning is obvious. Sure. Obvious naman na. Pero, tangina. This is pretty embarrassing if you're asking me. Especially with this with this booking, with this number of people who is actually loving this. This very disappointing. Sa totoo lang, very disappointing. Sting returned. I'm glad that he returned though. Other than that, eh, that's it. And then main event. Brian Danielson versus Swerve. I'm glad that we got final countdown. Huge chance. It's actually impressive to me. This is something that should be done in the proper manner. This is one of them. So, sobrang over then ni Swerve, which is very given. Pero yun. Ito na. Let's go with main event, shall we? So, wait lang. The match was pretty good. This was pretty good, but let's talk about the story here, which is that's the part that AW is leaning to. JR, let's go to my problem here with this match first. Number one, JR, I have a big ton of respect for you. I love you as a commentator. But you can't do it anymore. It's more on he's botching there one way or another. And I am disgusted already. I mean, that's his name before. But that's not the same now. And he's now botching and botching. I know he's old, but in a programming, in a big main match, we shouldn't have these big mistakes on programming because that might affect the whole thing, right? So I'm continuing with the match itself. The match itself was amazing. Medyo dinidetail nila yung anak ni Danielson, no? Medyo dinidetail nila, and then Swerve took the advantage of that and kind of turned heel. Then Birdie is already crying because of that, which is pretty understandable. Kasi sino nga naman ang matutuwa on someone is actually kicking you. But let's continue. Yun, All in London is something very impressive din sa totoo lang on how it's getting booked. No? But I'm not impressed too on how the idea or how this thing might go going forward. Hindi ko rin alam kung is this a proper decision? Is this the best decision? Oh. Ayun. So, as of right now, while I am recording this episode, SmackDown is already airing on TNT Sports in the UK because obviously SmackDown is live for the Berlin show. So, that was taped live in Berlin. He deserves it. But, ayun. So, parang, yun. Parang, I'm really excited tuloy for Bash in Berlin. But, I talked about that earlier. But yan, regardless, let's continue with the main event, Danielson versus Swerve. It's kind of makes sense for me to see Danielson winning, obviously. Pero ang part kasi talaga na inabangan ko dito was, aside from him taking the advantage of the family stuff on this match, Swerve was actually amazing here. Mukha siyang headliner, totoong headliner, and he did a really good job too on being an aggressive, on doesn't let Danielson to stand alone with this thing. So that was pretty good. And they really did a really good job on booking Swerve well here, that's for sure. So they really sold the drama. So that was amazing too because of the stipulation. So Swerve, yeah, given naman. Swerve is a really good wrestler, sure. And he has the right to do so as well, to do that. Then the match itself was incredible. I could not say bad things about it because of how the match really went out really well. Swerve, I think he had a long reign na rin. I really enjoyed the whole thing, personally. Pero yung thing, eto, I have to applaud Swerve here. Swerve for sure cemented himself as a main eventer here. After beating Joe, he had a really good run. Then, yung match quality na to was amazing. And then, it was established him as a big star. That's for sure. No? Danielson is a given character. Is one of the best wrestlers of all time. Then, after the match, the celebration continued here, which is amazing. Then, yun. That was a pretty good or wholesome moment, I would say. But that was amazing moment to me. Then everyone, I guess that Danielson is winning if it kasi I doubt that he is losing in front of his kids and her wife, that's for sure. So, hindi rin naman nila gagatasan yung story ni Danielson if he's losing, no? Sobrang pointless nun if gagatasan nila yung story then he is losing. That's pointless shit. Eto. So, saktong 4 hours yung naging match or naging show, which is pretty good. Ito. Let's talk about my MVPs here. So, number 1, Danielson, obviously. Number 2, Swerve. Number 3, Osprey. Number 4, Mariah May. 5, Christian. Overall, I really think that All in London was an impressive show, actually. Meron din akong, syempre, mga lapses all throughout the show. Syempre, ang dami kong dinagustuhan. But like what I said, AEW can give us a really good show, but they could not show us a really good story. That's a problem. No? Isa pang mga bagay na kailangan kong i-address dito. Kagaya ng sinabi ko, I don't think that they did a really good job on Ricochet's debut. It felt fucked up. I love Ricochet. I'm saying this because I love Ricochet. But his debut felt fucked up and feeling ko nakalimutan na yung debut niya. I think that was the show of the year, no? I really think Revolution was amazing. Yung mga matches na in-expect ko na magiging maganda, which is the MJF Osprey and the main event, obviously. Easily one of the best matches of the night. Then, the woman, I really think that Mariah May Tony Storm more than the other one, which was, it felt flat for me. Maganda yung story din ng kina Mariah May and Tony Storm, so that's a plus. And we are proving that Mariah May is clearly a heel. So, she slapped her mom, so that's really amazing. Aside sa, ang ganda ni Mariah May, she's very terrific. So, that's why she's amazing to me. Then, the gauntlet match, even though it's predictable, or I would say, horrific, that was a good call. And it makes sense that Christian won it. So, medyo surprise siya, pero it's clearly a plot device to me. I wish that he is losing. Jon Moxley, not on the card, was pretty not there. Eto, isa pang kailangan komponahin sa buong card na to. I don't like the idea of a lot of gimmick matches. We have the London match, the three-way match, the coffin match. That might be the worst for sure. Then the Jericho match, pretty given na. Boring talaga. Then the three-way tag match, that was bad as fuck. I know Bucks, even I hate Bucks right now. I know they can easily compete on a better situation if it's one-on-one. No. But yeah, no complaint with overall. But I really think that Young Bucks can compete better with single matches. We might see that on the next pay-per-view. Because, screw shit. Then, here's my scores for this year's All in London. The ladder match was 3. The Tony Storm Mariah May was 4. The Jericho Hook, I decided not to rate that. The Tag Taros match is 3. The Gauntlet match was a 4. The US title was a 5 for sure. The TBS title, it's a 1.5. I changed it. The TNT title, did not rated. The AEW World title, 5.5. I really think AEW title match was amazing. The storytelling is there. It's impressive. The predictability is very given. But the outcome, chef's kiss. Really good. Yup. I really think that overall, this is my second favorite show of the year for AEW. I really think that Revolution topped it all so far. And yeah, actually that's it for my AEW Revolution or All in London review. Sabi ko ng Revolution kasi nasabi ko yung Revolution. But regardless, that was a pretty good pay-per-view for AEW. Let me know what you think on the social media platforms at Main Event Mark PW. That should be it for me for now. You should hear me later on with my NXT No Mercy predictions episode. Bye for now and see you later.